Welcome to Cheating Stories Star. My name is Marcus, and for 7 years, I watched my wife choose her career over our marriage, until one night, I stopped waiting.
My name is Marcus. The last time I waited for my wife, it was 2:17 in the morning. I remember because I was sitting in the dark, staring at the microwave clock, listening to the rain hit the kitchen window. Claire had promised she would be home before midnight. Again, my phone lit up. Sorry, still at the office. Don't wait up. I read the message twice. Then I deleted it. Not because I was angry, because I had finally stopped expecting anything different. For 7 years, I had heard the same explanation. The promotion, the deadline, the client, the presentation. Her career always needed her more than I did. I used to argue. Then I begged. Eventually, I learned to stay quiet. That night, though, something inside me finally went still. I opened my laptop and typed one sentence into a blank document. I am done waiting. I didn't know it yet, but that sentence was about to change both our lives. Claire wasn't always like this. When we married, she was ambitious, but she still made time for us. We cooked together, took weekend trips, fell asleep talking about ridiculous things. Then her career took off. At first, I was proud. I told everyone how hard she worked. But success slowly became an excuse for everything else. Our anniversary dinner was canceled because of a meeting. My birthday became a quick phone call from an airport. 3 vacations disappeared from the calendar. Whenever I complained, she said the same thing. You knew what you married. Maybe she was right. But I never agreed to become a husband who lived like a roommate. Then I noticed something else. Claire wasn't just working late. She was happier at work. She smiled when her phone showed a message from her office. She dressed carefully for certain meetings. And one name appeared more often than the others. Ethan, her new department director. I asked about him once. He's just my boss. I nodded. But the answer came too quickly. I didn't confront her. Instead, I watched. Not obsessively. Just enough to understand the pattern. Claire's late nights increased whenever Ethan was in town. Their business dinners became weekend events. Then I noticed hotel charges on our joint account. She explained they were company expenses. I believed her, until I found an email accidentally forwarded to our home address. It was from Ethan. You can't keep pretending this is only about work. I stared at the screen. My first feeling wasn't rage. It was relief. Finally, something made sense. But I needed the truth. So I hired an attorney and quietly separated our finances. Then I checked the documents from Claire's company. That was when I discovered something far worse. Ethan wasn't having an affair with my wife. He was using her. Claire had signed several contracts that placed her personally responsible for company losses, and some of those losses had been hidden from the board. If the company collapsed, Claire could be blamed for millions. Ethan had convinced her to keep quiet. Suddenly, those late nights looked different. She wasn't choosing Ethan over me. She was trapped. But there was still one thing I couldn't forgive. She had never trusted me enough to tell me. I waited until Claire came home. She walked into the kitchen and stopped when she saw the papers on the table. What is this? I pushed the folder toward her. She opened it. Her face slowly changed. You knew? I knew enough. Her eyes filled with tears. You don't understand. Then explain it. She couldn't. Not immediately. Finally, she whispered, Ethan said he'd protect me. I almost laughed. Did he? She looked down. No. I sat across from her. For years, I had begged her to choose our marriage. That night, I didn't ask anymore. I spoke to an attorney, I said. Her head lifted. What? I filed for separation. She stared at me like I had become a stranger. You're leaving me? I shook my head. No. I paused. You left a long time ago. The investigation eventually exposed Ethan's scheme. Claire kept her job, but she lost the position she had sacrificed everything for. She asked me to stay. She promised things would change. I believed she meant it. But promises had become cheap between us, so I walked away. Months later, I found an old photograph from our first vacation. Claire was laughing. I was standing beside her, completely unaware of how much time I would eventually spend waiting for that woman to come back. I looked at the photograph for a long time. Then I put it away. I wasn't angry anymore. That surprised me. I had spent years believing my biggest mistake was not fighting harder for my marriage. I finally understood. My mistake was believing love meant waiting forever. Claire kept choosing her career, her deadlines, her ambitions, her excuses. And one night, I finally chose myself. I didn't leave because I stopped loving her. I left because I finally realized love shouldn't require one person to disappear while the other keeps choosing everything else.